Mic check 1 2. This ain't no bull track or crew. This warehouse 15, but legends speak true. 3 rings on my fingers, gold medals gleam, but under this armor, life ain't always what it seemed. Yeah, we trained hard, pushed limits, reached the peak, but the pressure cooker boiled man, so weeks I couldn't speak. Sponsorships.
Welcome to the Warehouse 15 again. You're here with Grandmaster Disaster, and we got TJ and Coach Moreno. And as always, we're going to keep it real, but more importantly, real interesting. And if it bothers you a little bit or hurts your feelings, well, oh well. Sorry, not
Today
sorry.
might be that day.
It might be that day, and you feel free. You know, my email address is TJ. Anyway, welcome, Mr. TJ. How you doing today, sir? What do you got going on? Tell us a little bit. Hold on a minute. I want to get a shout out to Budo Brothers. I'm wearing their awesome martial art theme hoodie. So when I wear it around the streets, everybody says, "Ay, yeah." How you doing, Mr. TJ? What do you got going on?
That's so funny. You know, I've worked with that company before. They actually sent me a bunch of clothing. It was like this Komodo thing and like some combat stick or something. I've actually worked with those guys. It's like, let me see the symbol.
I don't know where the symbol is. I just dug it, so I just kind of put it on.
But I think I've seen it before. Those are pretty cool guys. I've actually worked with them before. I'm chilling, having a nice rainy day here in North Carolina, nice and cold. Real quick, I just want to say thank you to all the people that kind of reached out and like sent me messages and responded to my post and said some nice things about me. Thank you. Understand that this is not a personal attack on anyone. This is just simply what's been going on. I'm just over it. Thank you, guys.
Coach Moreno, what do you got? How you doing today, sir?
Yeah. I'm good. I'm happy to be back I'm the exact opposite. Sunny, 80, Miami. Just getting back from Montreal. It was very cold. It was very snowy. You had a great event. So no, I'm doing good and just ready to get into the session. I think maybe have a little recap about Reno. Recap about the Canadian Open in Montreal, and then kind of get into Reno, and then kind of honestly, I think for maybe some bigger, more interesting topics is kind of the state of affairs, what's going on with the organization here in the United States. So I think we'll talk about that. So let's go with Montreal, the Canadian Open. I thought it was first and foremost, I got to say these guys put on a great event. Actually, someone said something to me recently, and I didn't think about it too much, but they were just talking about how the venue was just laid out beautiful. Young, it looked really, really first class, spacious, open, nice. But what they said, and I didn't think about it, that has to be one of the nicest staff that I've ever seen in my life. These Canadians. I know that the technical director, high performance director, Mr. Alan and his staff. There's like 5 people lay the mats down, pick the mats up, run the holding area, have a coaches meeting. So polite. TJ, I didn't hear one time, John Smith, you got 3 seconds before you're disqualified. It's just, they're so athlete friendly that it was long days, it was just like any tournament. There's some good calls, bad calls, whatever, but just the friendliness and openness and the way the venue looked, first class from my standpoint. Shout out to the Canadian Federation for doing such a good job. I'm not sure what you thought about that, TJ.
I thought it went well. I mean, like you said, normal Taekwondo stuff with the long days, good calls, bad calls, all that stuff. But like you said, it felt very free flow and like everything was kind of moving. You know what I mean? There was no like large disruptions or anything going on. And like you said, I think that huge shout outs to, like you said, high performance director Alan, because I think, just having everyone able to work together that kind of smoothly and no chaos, no real nothing going on. That's an awesome feat. I know he has a lot of help behind the scenes, and I know Brittany also. I know Brittany, the lady that works at the girl works, she's awesome as well. But overall, good event, good fights, good matches. Some divisions a little tougher than others, but I think overall level pretty good. I liked it for a season opener. It definitely was a good event.
Well, I mean, listen, for me personally,
the Canadians, right?
Oh, wait, Coach Master Perez.
Yes, sir.
I got one. Does this count? Can I count this as a dub? Can I count that as a W? Where we at?
Is that what is it?
There you go. The coach of the year.
Oh, nice. That's gold.
One.
That's gold.
Yeah,
that's definitely gold. Yeah, that's gold.
Yeah. All right, I'll keep this one. Let's go. And
No, it was
as long
well. I
as
mean, for
it's
me,
winning
no, for me
something.
personally, I was good. No, it was good. He did well. We'll talk about that. I mean, for me, it was really interesting because I think it was the first time I was at a cadet and junior day. I don't know, man, close to a decade. I mean, I haven't been to one of those in years. And so it was a long day for me. I brought a group of kids from Miami, and it was fun for me to watch those guys compete and had some, some gold medals and a couple other medals and some good and bad. But it was fun to watch the level. Always the cadet juniors are just amazing because they're wild. They're crazy. They're fun. They're free flowing. And so that was pretty cool. For me, but I think the senior day, like you said, TJ, there were some divisions that were pretty darn competitive. You had, the Salim brothers were there, the Spanish team were there. Canada had most of their national team fighters there. So I thought the level was pretty darn good, especially for an opener. What I thought was really interesting, it was very combative. Like there was some fights, Herb. Like, I mean, there's always going to be some points like that, but there was some hitting and some banging and some. Yeah, it was pretty interesting. It was a little rough, and I kind of liked that. I thought that was pretty cool.
It felt more like old school Pan Am region when it was like that. Like they were something hitting each other. You could feel the shots. You could see the shots. People were getting put to the floor, kicked to the floor. I saw some big body shots that kind of stuck some people. I mean, that overall, like you said, that event, they were out there fighting. And I like that. I always liked that.
Mexico was there too with their national team.
Yes,
so by the end, it was very physical. It almost looked a little personal, like it was a real fight versus like, hey, let's win and dap you up and go home. Something was different in that venue. So I gotta say, I liked it.
It helps. I think Canada also has really good when they have their cheering sections and it's Canada versus anyone, they like that. So it was really loud for those matches. Yeah. Right.
I mean, there's a couple of people who stood out to me. Obviously Omar Salim fought extremely well. Again, he had a close match with Braven Park, early on, but in his final, he fought an Olympic level athlete, Olympian from Spain, and he pretty much handled him pretty easily. So that was pretty impressive. A young lady, check this out, Herb. There's a girl that made the Canadian junior national team and then the Canadian senior national team. Then she won the Canadian junior open, and then she won the Canadian senior open. This girl got 4 gold medals as a junior in a junior and adult tournament, and she was dominant. Like she's a world silver medalist at the Junior World Championships, so she's legit. But I'll tell you what, she's in 62, which is lightweight. That girl, Brewster, she's something. She's going to be someone that we have to watch out for. I would think in the near future. I got a chance to watch her. Actually, she fought one of my girls in the semifinal in the juniors, and it was a lot. I ain't gonna lie. It was a lot. I was impressed. And then as soon as I heard she was going to fight seniors, I'm like, oh, she's winning. She's winning. She's just that raw, that tough. So that was a female that stood out to me pretty well.
I wonder how many matches that was throughout the whole weekend. I'll find out. It's a lot of matches.
It's a lot of matches. Skylar Park pretty much walked through the tournament too. I mean, the Olympic bronze medalist from Canada, she walked through the draw pretty easily. I mean, it didn't even look difficult for her. Our Michael Rodriguez, United States national team guy, fought a very good Brazilian in the final and came away with another gold medal. You were sitting in that chair, DJ. That was a pretty, I don't want to say it was a tough match, but it was pretty much in control.
Yeah, those are always good matches, though. I can't think of his name right now, but he likes to fight. You know what I mean? Like you say, going back to the Jaldis, yeah, going back to the that we were saying about people hitting each other. That was definitely a slobber knock of a match. They were throwing some big shots at each other and kind of being physical and fighting for those rounds. So yeah, definitely one of a intense match. It's always intense matches versus those guys, though. But yeah, Michael was able to kind of keep the composure and score his points when he needed to and make some good decisions throughout that match. So very, very good.
It's funny, Herb, check this out. On the U.S. national team, there's a Michael Rodriguez, then there's a Victor Rodriguez, and then there's another Michael Rodriguez. There's 3 Rodriguezes on the national team for the United States. So it's kind of interesting. And, the big Michael, which is in the middleweight 87, he won a gold medal too.
You mentioned something about Canada, which I think is pretty important to recognize, and I want to get back to the fighters for a minute, but the level of professionalism that you run an event for people that are professionals is important, right? I mean, I think if you can go to a country and they treat you correctly, they treat you like an athlete, they treat you like a professional, because our athletes are, vis-a-vis professionals for the most part. That resonates with the coaches and your desire to go back to the event, unless it's a must-go-to event. And, certainly our experiences at the Pan Am Games and at the Olympics, we didn't have people pulling us and pushing us and yelling at us. We had people taking care of us, doing what we needed them to do, treating us like professionals. And I think that's kudos to Canada, right? Canadians by nature, just nice people, right? I'm always impressed with the level of politeness and going out of the way for others. Although they have some of the toughest fighters that, I've ever fought, certainly were from Canada. But,
Hey,
and I think
shout out to one of your old friends.
You
Who was there?
Was he there?
One of our good friends.
Which one?
You remember Ashley was there.
He's always, I
Ashley.
stay in touch with him. He's one of my favorite fighters ever.
Yeah. He's awesome. He's such a good dude. He comes around and obviously he's good friends with my wife. My wife worked for him when she went to Montreal for a little while after she retired. And so we have just a really good relationship. So he was there. So he always speaks highly of you. Yeah. Very fun.
Yeah. He's a warrior. I mean,
guy.
He's a wild warrior. He did Taekwondo when it mattered, and he did it because it mattered, and he made it matter. He had arguably, he was I won't say he's the designer of it, but he was the master of the Canadian, what we called the Canadian back kick. And it was unstoppable. And I saw him put more people on the floor with body shots, almost as many as his teammate Jean-Claude put on the floor with back hook kicks. I mean, that guy was unbelievable. So
what's can you describe the Canadian back kick?
Canadian back kick is it's a almost like a donkey kick. You don't turn your head over. You don't look, because you don't need to look, because you know where it's going to end up. And it's a testicle, what I call a testicle tickler with the toes. So they take their heel and they point their heel up and their toes down. Yeah. And no, seriously. And when you hit it, this is the clip that'll come out, by the way, testicle ticklers.
Don't know why.
So, no, but it's true. So I could stand up and demonstrate, not the tickling part, but the foot, and the toes are down. The heel is up. So when you hit somebody, and we would hit them in the lower stomach, the heel is in the lower stomach and the toes are literally tickling the testicles, depending on the size of the testicles, of course. But it's deadly effective because you're hitting them on the weakest part of the stomach. And Ashley dropped more people. And early on, I think when people tried it, and the reason it works is your knee is tucked into your body, as opposed to the Korean style where your knee eventually comes out. Their knee never comes out. The other people that took a version of were the Spaniards. So the Spaniards have slightly different back kick that was similar.
I think old school Moroccan back kick was the same.
Was it?
Moroccan back kick. They used to tuck their knee and drive their foot straight back and hit the center of the chest guard.
I got to be honest, I copied it for a while. Like I had like 3 or 4 different back kicks, and that was one of them that I copied, but in particular for the testicle tickling, because I thought that was fantastic. I'm joking.
It was a good tournament. I mean, obviously there was a lot of good matches and there's a lot of good results. And the United States had a female heavyweight that won a gold medal. Naomi, the big Michael Rodriguez, won a gold medal.
87, yes.
Ava Lee, who fights with Haiti, she won a gold medal.
He fought a good Spanish guy, Michael Rodriguez.
Yeah,
he fought. That was a good match. I think it went 3 rounds, but that was a good match.
It did. It did go through. There was, like I said, there was some. I think it was a well-run tournament. It was a well-laid-out tournament. I think you had a good level, like you said. It was a good technical level, a good physical level, and just a great first tournament. I think most of the divisions people had 4 and 5 fights. I'm sure there's a few that had get a bye and get 3, but I mean it wasn't extremely big in the numbers. But I think overall pretty decent, a pretty decent level. So which kind of leads us into, I should say this. I mean, TJ did win that Coach of the Year for as a male coach. I think it was awesome and well deserved. I mean, he was working all day with his own personal athletes, with TOPS athletes, with AAU athletes. So I mean, I thought that was very, very deserving. Congratulations to you. I'm very happy for you. I'm proud of you.
Congratulations. I have moved my guitar, my gold guitar, above my head in honor of you. So you are now occupying the top space in my mind. So that beautiful PRS gold top right there is for you. That's for you. That's for you.
Let's go.
So if you had done less, you would have got the one down in the corner that's painted in some pseudo Japanese, Chinese dragon, Year of the Dragon theme. So you'll know if you mess up, because I'll put that one up over my head. But it is next to my silver bass and my bronze fretless, just in case. So
every time I see those, I think of Wayne's World.
Wayne's World.
Yeah, had a good
Wayne's World. Oh, I was in love with Tia Carrera.
Guys, so TJ,
with her.
Yes, sir.
TJ, I'm not going to Reno. I chose not to go to Reno because number one, I don't like Reno, and number two, I just don't want to be around some of these guys. So I just figured,
are you allowed to go back to Reno after that incident? I'm joking. Look, you were like, you thought I found out, right?
No,
I'm sorry.
No, because incident? I thought I yelled at stuff. I thought I was talking about from the tournament. I'm like, I've had a couple different little spats with people, but no. I'm not a big fan of Reno, and quite honestly, I mean, didn't feel like going there and spending my money with certain people. So I decided not to go. I do have some kids that are going to be going again, and my wife is fortunate enough to go. But I know you're heading out there, TJ. What's the expectations and stuff? What are you thinking?
I'm not sure. I mean, like I said, I know that I was looking at some of the stats and who was signed up for the event. We'll see who actually ends up being there when they fight. I mean, I think you'll have a couple more, some of the fewer other higher level athletes from the USA there. So there'll be the addition of those. I think you lost some from Canada. And I was speaking to a lot of my coaches out there. A lot of them aren't coming to the US Open. Some of them are, but we'll see. We'll see what we get. But it's another tournament, another day, and we'll see what the divisions look like once they put them out. But I'm excited to see this competition.
What tournament is it? Is it the US Open?
The U.S. Open, yeah. U.S. Open is in Reno.
Well, I mean, I know the Uzbekistan teams use Uzbekistan. Goes here.
No, go ahead. I was just trying. I was watching you try to say Uzbekistan.
Uzbekistan. I was having.
Oh, even better.
Uzbekistan.
No, that's a true Kazakhstani pronunciation of it. Uzbekistan. It's correct. Most people say Uzbekistan, and it's not Uzbekistan. It's Uzbekistan is good.
Uzbekistan. Yeah. But they're coming. I mean, they're supposed to be coming. I know Argentina's there. Mexico's there. Of course, like you said, some of the top athletes from the United States will be there again. So, I mean, it could be a good mix. And of course, there's just a bunch of other Americans as well. The divisions look a little bit larger. I'm not quite sure about the overall quality. I mean, I think the upper echelon will be pretty well represented, but the other ones are some, maybe some lower level guys that are just trying to take a shot, which is awesome, which is exactly what they should do. I think the cadet and junior divisions, same thing, are a little bit bigger as well. So people have a little bit longer of a day. So I'll be watching. I'll watch on TV. So I'll see how you guys all do it. I'm curious to see how people match up again. It should be interesting.
Do you know how to say hello right now because Uzbekistan? Do you guys know how to say hello in Uzbekistan language? Do you want to know how? Hold on.
Hello.
That's how you say hello. I was like, hello. Or you say salam. But I was like, oh, that's how you say hello. I was going to try to say hello to you in Uzbekistan-ish, because I've actually been to Uzbekistan a few times. So
yeah, I think for the brackets though, I think right now because all the ranking points are still a little low and everybo's kind of not settled yet, so it makes for a couple of good matches here and there, like early in the day or at times that they normally wouldn't happen, So and just it'll be good. It'll be interesting there.
Well, let's go. There's something else I think I want to talk about, and I always like to bring up the topics that people hesitate to talk about.
I got something.
You do it then, because I don't want to do it. No. This is probably the same. It's probably the same topic because I think it's important and crucial, and it dovetails into many of the things that Warehouse 15 is known for. Besides its cool apparel.
So I mean, listen, I'm going to start it because there's a couple of different versions of I want to talk about, and I'm going to say this again, disclaimer: this is not personal, because I'm gonna talk about a couple of people today that I actually happen to like as people. like when I say I like them as people, nothing but respectful to me, nothing but polite to me. I don't have anything bad to say about them as a person at all, like zero. I will question why they're in certain positions. And I'm going to start right now because it's a hot topic in the United States. There was a staff named, and right now it's just for the cadet and junior national team, along with team trainers and along with staff. And I got, I'm not going to say anything about the coaches. At one moment they say merit, and then, some people have people on the team, some people don't. But I like the staff. I think they're fine. My problem is with two different positions, one trainers and one leaders. And I'm going to put it out there. I just saw a name on the staff as a trainer. And if I'm not mistaken, I could be 100% wrong, and maybe TJ, you can correct me, or somebody can put in the comments. But from what I know, this person is a trainer and hasn't been around for about 4 or 5 years, if I'm not mistaken, since the 2020 Olympic qualification event. And this guy is now on the staff as a trainer. And so my question is, how does this guy get on the staff, one? And you, two, are you telling me there's no other coach that's been to nationals and trials and international events over and over and over the last 4 years that wasn't capable to fill that role? It drives me absolutely nuts because I like this guy. When I tell you I like this guy a lot. But how he is positioned there is unfathomable for me, which takes me to my other position. So in each group, you have 3 coaches and 2 trainers. That's 5 staff people. 3 coaches on the cadet team and 2 trainers. And then you have a USAT administration person and another person. So you got management, you got coaches, you got trainers, and then you have a person that's been named to a title that I've never even heard of, the team lead. Is it team lead?
Yeah.
The team lead.
Mm-hmm.
Team lead for juniors and cadet. Meanwhile, the person doesn't really even have athletes in that category. But even more to the point, like, what is their role? What is their function? What is this person in particular? Again, nice person to me, a super nice person. I have nothing bad to say about her. But are you telling me that this person has the expertise to be the leader and the overseer of all this above these coaches that have been there doing it, are there, contributing year after year after year? And this person just gets elevated up there? I don't understand it. And
I don't even know what it is.
Again, I don't know what it is, but the 2 people that I'm referring to, it's unbelievable. How do we segue into this? How does this go? I mean, because 1 minute they're saying merit, 1 minute they're saying who's working with the organizations, 1 minute they're saying as long as you're not detrimental to, I don't even know. But these 2 people individually, I don't know how they get there.
So let me help you guys with at least a historical perspective of how team leadership used to work or should work, or how the Olympic Committee used to work, and it may have changed. So historically, you have mission critical people, and those are the people that do the training for the athletes, and depending on the budget, you have coaches, assistant coaches, and trainers, people that actually hold the targets or training partners. So we understand that, and that really I don't think has changed much, nor should it change. Above that level, you have head of team or team leaders, or whatever the terminology may be. And theirs is not supposed to be a position based on technical knowledge, but it should be a position based on organizational knowledge. And they're literally water carriers. They're the guys that go out, get the fruit and the vegetables and the sports drinks. And if somebody needs something specific, they do that so that the coaches can focus on coaching and the athletes can focus on winning. But you got to remember the polluted and nepotistic atmosphere that the athletes and the coaches find themselves in now. Athletes are cajoled or threatened to have to go train in, I don't know, some backwood area of Kentucky or somewhere. And if they don't, then they don't have a chance of making the team, or they don't get coached. Or if they do show up and they're not going, they don't get coached. So that's level 1. Level 2 is the organization has decided to maintain the people in power by removing anybody else that has knowledge or ability or is merit-based. So they've taken second, third, and fourth tier people. They've eliminated first and second tier people that have history.
That's where they're going.
Yeah,
That's where they're going.
They've eliminated first and second tier.
That's what they've done.
So they've gotten anybody that actually had success and could threaten their jobs. Because let's be clear, if they were to put a first or second tier person in any position in USAT, there would be two things that would happen immediately. Number one, Steve McNally would be fired. Number two, Jay Warwick would be fired as well because he's taking a paycheck because he hasn't found a paycheck or a plane ticket he doesn't love. Number three, high performance director would probably be gone, as would Sherman Nelson, whatever his position is, because he's not value added. Because in a mission critical sport organization, value added means what you do is crucial and adds to either revenue or to winning. And I can't say that Steve McNally, who hasn't done anything other than be a marketer, PR director of nonsense. Jay Warwick didn't win when he competed and didn't win when he was executive director. And I could say the same about pretty much everybody else in that third and fourth, what I call third and fourth tiers. So now when you empower third and fourth tier people, they're extremely happy. And do you know why? Because much like a weed under the concrete, they haven't seen sunlight. And when you break the concrete and you allow them to see sunlight, they're so glad that they're getting water and they're getting sunlight that they're willing to carry the water and say, yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir. And so it doesn't matter anymore. And the results aren't there. So that's what's happening. Now, I'm not surprised by it because if you look at any good plutocracy, any good oligarchy, any good monarchy, any good thing like that, the first thing they do is kill the smart ones. Cuba, by way of example, when Cuba decided it was going to be communist, the very first thing is they exited everyone that could threaten that. So all the people that had money got to leave. And in fact, they welcomed them to leave your money and leave. And they got to leave. And they got rid of anyone that could cause them any problems. And as a result, Cuba still continues to exist. When you leave the people that can cause you trouble in power, they will come back to kill you. And this happened in USA Taekwondo before. So they learned the lessons of what happened to the guys like Sang Lee and their predecessors. When you had people in the room that were first tier, some of us who are on the phone now, we got rid of everybody that was doing bad things. We killed them. We got rid of them. So this group has learned a lesson because, quite frankly, Jay Warwick got killed by them. And then he got back and now he's got the ultimate revenge. He's the only guy in the room that was originally a first tier person. So he's smart enough now not to have a single colleague or compatriot or contemporary in the room with him, because then he knows what will happen. He will be out of the room. Steve McNally, I don't understand how they rehired him. The very first thing I would do is take the board on a trip, a one-way ticket, fly them back to their country of origin, wherever that is, and leave them there and let them get home however they would, because they've done nothing for the organization except to disempower it. All right. Anyway, I'll get a lot of comments on that later. But
TJ, if you don't have anything to say about that little staff thing that I mentioned, that's fine. If you do, you can go ahead. But if not, I want to get to something that you posted yesterday. And I want to ask you a couple questions about that. But do you want to say anything about that or comment on what I talked about?
No, you're right on. Right on. I think I put it in my post. They do what they want, how they want, when they want. If they want to make a position, they make a position. If they don't want it to exist no more, there's no more space. There's this reason. It's because of this. It's because of this. It's because of this. I just want everyone to remember, like, even some of the people that are on the staff, y'all know how they acted when you guys were on the team. How they treated you when you were on the team. So remember that and taking those positions, and at least make sure if you're on the inside, you're fixing it. Because remember what they did and how they put you to the side. That's it. You can go ahead.
So let me. If I'm going to talk. I'm going to go on your. When I read your thing, it was obviously lengthy. It appears it was pretty thought out. It seemed like it came from some emotion, but experience, and I think that's the best way I can put it. You were, frustrated. Let's use that word. But it all comes from experience. And I read it like a couple times because I wanted to see if I could poke holes in it. And when I started reading it, obviously, you've told me things that we put, pertain to me, my relationship with you and how it's affected you. But it was never for me to talk publicly about that because that was for you. But now that you opened up that can of worms, I'm going to talk about first things first. People, think about this. If our leadership, if your leadership has told another coach that because who he's associated with, he is not going to be considered, no matter what he does, no matter what merit he has, is only because you have a friendship or a relationship with another group or person. Like, what does that say? Like, how does that say we want the best for our organization? Now, if you were nobody, you have no results, you have no performances, okay, you're asking for a favor. But if people in the organization said, hey, who you hang out with, they don't like that person. So because they don't like that person and you like that person, now you can't be part of the club. You can't be part of the team. What are we saying?
You know what's crazy? It's like a rotating joke. It's like everyone in the room knows this. Everyone in the room knows this. They know this. They understand this. It's spoken about. It's whispered about. It's rumored about. They know this for 100% fact. It's not a secret. Nobody thinks it's a secret.
No, and I'll apologize because honestly, I don't know why they don't like me. I don't know if it's jealousy. I don't know because
they don't like you because you like me.
You're right, probably, Herb.
Let's get clear. If you're friends with me, and I'm okay with that, because I don't like clowns. I don't like ass clowns. So, this all starts with the fear of people, right? I don't pay attention to USA Taekwondo, but the one thing I do pay attention to is how they act. And so it's a shame that the nepotism and the fear, it's called imposter failure, imposter syndrome. When you yourself don't believe that you are good enough, it affects your performance. And the very first thing you do is you do a Tanya Harding on people. You get out the bat and you hit people in the knees out the building. And this is the USA culture right now in Taekwondo. Steve McNally knows he's not a CEO. He knows that more than he knows who he is. Every time he gets threatened, the next phone call he makes is threatening. I can't tell you the times he sent me threatening texts. I'm like, knock yourself out. Go ahead. Jay Warwick. Every time he feels threatened, you get a phone call. Aren't we still friends? Don't people say you're not saying nice things about me? No, I'm not saying nice things about you. This is I just got off a podcast with a dear friend of mine, Sifu Harinder Singh. And he said, one of the things I like about you is you're authentic and you're you. Unapologetically you. Yeah, I am. And that's what we should all be. So with regard to these guys, Coach, both of you, you got to feel honored. Feel honored.
No.
We're going to get a mug, and the mug is going to say, I too have been ostracized by the Ass Clown show. And so with that said, yeah, they don't want their best and brightest, and they hope the rest will make it through. Because to be honest, over the past 5 to 10 years, the decisions that have been made by this particular leadership group, the very first thing I would do is undo all of them and get the petition together. I'll come in and lead USA Taekwondo for 1 year, and I'll fix it in a year, and everybody can kill me on the way out. But the reality is that the organization's going the wrong direction.
But you know what the Herb difference is? Okay, you've been outspoken about it in social media and whatever. Like me, I don't even talk. I mean, since we started this podcast, I've talked about some trials and situations, but really, I have no stick in the fire, which is crazy. So that means I haven't been in the organization for 5 years. 5 years minimum. I think it's longer, but let's say 5 years.
Coach, think about this for a minute. You ever watch Game of Thrones?
Yeah.
All right. When you kill somebody, you don't just kill them. You kill them, you kill their family, you kill their children.
I get it.
You kill their children's children. You kill anybody that know them, because then they can never come back. Virtue of what's happening with TJ is they're saying to TJ, you know him, you'll probably still be with him. So if we give you something, you won't suck off the proverbial global teat of Steve McNally and Jay Warwick. you will revert and become Juan's biggest fan and biggest friend.
Listen, the reason I'm talking about it, TJ opened up the can, and the reason I'm talking about it like today is because TJ, you said it. Everybody knows. You know how many people, I got calls of people who just got put on staff, and they called me to thank me for my support from when they first started, and now they're getting there. They thank me. And they said, you know what? I'm always going to be respectful, blah, 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 blah. And I'm thinking to myself, but these people throughout the years, yeah, you know, they don't mess with you, Juan. You know, they don't like peak, Juan. You know, they're not going to let you. They said, and I'm like, okay. But like, what is that? Again, 5 years. I haven't even been to a USA Taekwondo event. I went to the team trials and people are like, what are you doing here? I paid my $27. I sat in the stands and I left the next day. That's
You
it.
had to pay?
Literally.
You don't have a
I had to
lifetime
pay.
membership?
I don't have a lifetime membership.
I got one of those.
So, to hear that
pay with lifetime
two
membership.
staff members are telling TJ not to be friends with Juan, not to think, to be so petty, like you might watch a training and then go tell Juan, and Juan will tell the Brazilians, yo, no to you fools. We've beaten you guys before, and I didn't need anything. So stop that. I mean, it's just a match. I mean, you guys are ridiculous. It's so petty that people need to know. And people need to know that we know. People need to know that we are going to try to get rid of this stuff.
So can I tell you a story that was related to me, and I won't tell you.
One more thing. One more thing. It's even worse when people try to act like they're your friends. When people try to act like they got your best interest. When people that you've known for years say, yeah, it's not right. But yet they go in that circle and do the exact same thing for year after year after year. And
so here's the
sorry.
You're good. You're good, and it's not wrong. And that's the biggest part. That's the biggest part. When the upper echelon of people you know for a long time can sit there and tell you that they know it's not right. They can tell you you're being shit on. They're literally saying it to your face, and they're in the mix, and then they're shitting on you too. What's the deal? Like, I don't understand. You can't tell me that this is wrong and this is wrong and this is wrong, but you do it again and again and again. It's like, then what are we doing? Just because like you said, just because of who I'm associated with, because I'm the best spy in the world. I'm going to be somewhere, I'm going to see something, and it's going to change the whole outcome of the tournament. I don't know if that's like a superpower of mine, but it's the most absurd thing I've ever heard in my entire life. And like you said, if that's what you fear, you have bigger problems.
And the funny thing is, I mean, TJ is like, you know, this is not my opinion right now. This is not my opinion. These are facts. These were said. These are being said. And so, you know, these guys got to own up for that. Like, I mean, in a strange way, that's some kind of like, I don't know what the term is. I mean, like if our organization is out, I keep saying our, if that organization is out,
because it is our, because you can't like it's the fact of how it is. It matters. It's hard not to say it.
Yeah, it's hard because I mean, yeah, but if whether it's me and my peak people or John Smith, if our group says we need to keep that group out for whatever reason, that is wrong. You guys state that you say, oh, someone that's detrimental to the organization. You're detrimental to the organization because you're not looking for the best people. You're looking to keep people away for whatever reason. And I keep going back to this 5-year thing. I haven't, since these guys have come into administration, I haven't been part of it. Literally, I haven't been a part of it. Yet they'll still say things like that to you, TJ, and to others.
Like it or not, and they sell it to everyone around them. I've been at competitions and I've been intense moments coaching my guys in between rounds. And I've said, I think it was, oh, I need you to hit that shit harder. Talking about the chest guard to my guy. I had the referees come up to me afterwards and tell me, Ellie, you can't talk like that. The referees wanted to give you a yellow card. At a USAT event, they said that to me. About me talking to my athlete who's in the military in between rounds. Fast forward to nationals. They let a coach call a child a bitch. They let him call a bitch. Twice. They let him call him a B word and did nothing about it. The referees didn't do anything about it. The organization didn't do anything about it. They stood there. He stood there and yelled at the parent in the stands, yelling at the grown-ass man talking crap to his child and told him to sit down. That's what I'm saying.
So that same coach, right? Let me relate a story. I won't tell you where I got the story from, but I can tell you I got it from the source. A particular athlete, female athlete, won the ultimate goal. On the way out to the award medal ceremony, the coach, I won't mention his name, Gareth Brown. Did I mention his name? Sorry. Mr. Brown, appropriate name, appropriate color, says to the athlete, grabs her and says, you remember this. You would be nothing without me. This is not your medal. This is mine. You'd be nothing without me. So if that's pervasive in the way the coach is talking to an athlete, why does the B word surprise you? Why does any of this surprise you? And it shouldn't surprise you because this is unfettered power. Unfettered power. There's nobody watching the shop. There's nobody they respect watching the shop. And the guy who should be in the room teaching the legacy, let me teach you how to be on the U.S. team. That was Jay Warwick's coaching when he was captain. The very guy who should be teaching the ethics and the morals, when I call him up and I sent a note to him about this same coach giving the middle finger and putting it on Facebook, nothing. Crickets. He's like, well, we don't feel. You don't feel what? Can you imagine during the days when we were fighting, if we had done that, what would have happened to us? So the guy who's supposed to be the taekwondo guy in the room, the ethics, the moral keeper, where is he? Like he's drinking wine.
Even worse.
No, he's drinking wine on Montana in a river, and he's going to only when he has to, and he's taking the free plane tickets and the free trips, so he can go hang out with Jungkook Young and the guy that beat him all the time, and laugh about the past and his past failures. But anyway,
I think the point of it is like these things happen, and there's no repercussions, but yet, you're going to have a microscope on someone like yourself, TJ, because you might see something in a practice. But you said, I don't know the athlete you're talking about, Herb that said that. He said that too. But these are two different coaches, first of all. Yeah. But again,
but it's a culture, coaching culture.
Yes, you're right. And I never spoke about this publicly because it wasn't my conversation. This was me and TJ's conversation privately. Yeah. He put it in public. That's what I'm talking about now. Just like I've had different calls from family members and said, I want to say something, but I can't because we have an agreement and this and that. I'm like, it's sad that grown parents feel afraid to say something, too afraid to speak up on behalf of their kids or whatever else because of retribution. They feel like they have to go to certain places to train. If not, they will never get the chance to get to the Olympics. That's the culture that is here right now. That's not even my Juan Moreno culture, the peak performance culture that I feel. That's the parents telling us. That's the parents taking exoduses to go move their families and train other places, because if not, they don't have a choice. They don't have
everyone knows it. It's not a secret. Yes. Everybody knows it. You all talk about it. We all talk about it. We know it, and we've accepted it. And this is it's gonna keep happening over and over and over again. There's way too much talent to tell me that this is the only way. It's impossible. It's never been like that. It's impossible. It doesn't work like that. Y'all, it shouldn't be like that. I don't know what agreement or whatever that you can't speak out or say what you feel. If that's not, I don't know what you call that, but if that's not bullying or whatever words you guys like to use, I don't know what is.
Listen, that's blackmail. That's not a, I keep hearing this word culture. We're trying to build a culture in a new, you're doing just the opposite. You're telling people they can't talk. You're eliminating people that want to help and want to be successful, people that have put in time, and you're just getting in all these, and I'm all for new blood. Don't mistake it. People that are doing well. There's a junior coach. Again, I don't want to mention people's names on here that I think is doing really well. Put a couple kids on the national team, and guess what? He's there. Hey man, good for you. I'm happy. I seen him when he used to come to my seminars. His program is growing up. He's producing good cadet and junior level athletes. Good for you. So I'm all for that new blood, but don't tell me you're going to put these positions of guys, put people in position that haven't been around the organization for 5 years. Don't tell me you're going to build literally a new role that is not going to do anything to take resources and money when we can't pay for cadets and juniors to do things. We don't have money for other senior national teammates when we don't have things organized. It's just sad. I mean, people need to talk about that. And I know people say we're trying. You know, I know they had this town meeting and they're going back to our regional centers and stuff. God bless them. This is the third time. And I will say, you know, they were like, listen, I know we've tried it before, but we got to keep trying. Hope you guys have a better mousetrap, because for whatever reason, you know, the two guys that were on that call never had a program, never developed athletes from the beginning. One was part of a program. I can say that, but, and now you guys have come up with a plan. I don't know. I mean, it doesn't seem to make a lot of sense. But anyway, TJ, look,
meanwhile, I
happy.
get the call and I'm told I have one of the highest Taekwondo IQs in our country, but I'm being not utilized. Again, I'm being told how good I am, but I can't work with you guys by the people that are there right now. And it's not going to change unless X, Y, and Z happens. Like, it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't
TJ,
make any
do it
sense.
right now. Denounce your friendship with me.
We are no longer friends. We're no longer friends. I do not like the colors blue and yellow. I am TJ. Did that
Is
work?
the phone ringing? Is the phone ringing?
I accept. Did it work?
Oh, wait.
Well,
No.
hello.
Nah.
No, I can't
No
do
call.
it. No, I won't do it. No.
No phone calls.
Give it to
No
TJ.
phone calls.
Give it to TJ.
No phone calls from me.
That's it.
All right, gentlemen. Well, I
You
think we've hit that topic now. If you want to, a couple of things. Let's get started to GoFundMe. So I'll make this commitment to everyone. If you want me to help USA Taekwondo, I will do it free for 1 year. I won't take a salary, no plane tickets, nothing. I will fix it. I will get rid of all the clowns. I will fix it. The GoFundMe will be to get plane tickets for them to go back to whence they came. Let's send Steve McNally back to, I thought it was Australia, but somebody told me it's Great Britain. I'm sure they'd welcome him back. I'm sure there's a job waiting for him.
Come on, man.
As
They
some
love
sort
America.
of, well, they got to listen. That used to be the guy that did the OxyClean. So they probably need another OxyClean spokesman, and that's what he is. And that's what the GoFundMe will be. So start the petition, start the GoFundMe, and I will do it for a year, fix it, and then I promise at the end of a year I'll leave and put somebody better in. Second, fire the board of directors. I will find a way to replace everybody on the board of directors because they are responsible for this. And then thirdly, we'll make it a meritocracy again. And I think it would be good. And I think we could fix it. But that's my challenge to everybody. Now, if you're willing to do that, the guy who starts, or the girl who starts to GoFundMe, I got some Warehouse 15 swag for you. So just let me know your size and we'll send
I had
it
like
off.
4 different people. It's not a lot, but 4 different people at different things. Like, hey, when are you going to do the shirt thing? Or hey,
tell them to send me the thing. All I ask is we'll get them whatever, a hoodie, t-shirt, whatever they want, hat. They got to do a social media post on it. And it's got to say, sorry, but sorry, not sorry. That's it. That's all I ask for. Nobody needs to say anything else. Sorry, not sorry. That's it. On the other side of it, though, closing thoughts from my new, we're going to raise him now. He's going to change his name to Best Coach, not Bronze, TJ. TJ, any closing thoughts?
No, I mean, I think we talked.
There's always a place for you in Canada, apparently. Go ahead.
It's
he did a woman. He's good.
Yeah, I'm chilling. No, I just again, like you, I think Coach Moreno hit it right on the head. I don't want this to be personal. I talked to a lot of people. I'm nice to a lot of people. I have a lot of these people are my friends and people that like I'd say I work with very well. This is just what the case is. I don't want to hear, of course, like the sentence, you're a hater, you're this, I don't like them. You guys got to understand this is just facts. All this stuff is facts. I'm telling you what's been happening with just me. I don't know about nobody else. I don't involve anything else. This is my experience and what I've had to deal with. That's it. And like I said, again, thank you guys for everyone who reached out and said the nice things and in support of me. I appreciate you always. And I'm sure I'll see you guys soon.
Coach Moreno?
Yeah, I mean, I'll echo that. I'll say, again, this is, I said it earlier. These people, I mean, I like them as people. They haven't done me wrong at all. I just question their, the why. But I'm going to say something, TJ. I'm going to challenge all those people because I've seen, for example, you put some posts up, TJ, and it's like. And all those people that I know you're out there watching on social media, you didn't comment one. And I know the names of the people. Nothing. Nothing. Oh, we're with you, TJ. Oh, we understand, TJ. We hope it gets better, TJ. Nothing. Shame on you guys. Shame on you guys for just being quiet. Shame on you guys for not feeling brave enough to speak your mind as adults, as coaches, as supporters, because you guys know what's right and you know what's wrong. And for me, it's not correct. You don't have to be as brash as I'm being today. You don't have to be as mean as, Juan is being mean. I know how to be a professional. I've been a professional for 30, 40 years in this game. And I have a lot more friends than enemies, but it needs to be said. And I wish people that talk all this stuff behind closed doors would be adults enough to do the right thing and support when you say stuff like this, TJ. So kudos to you, brother. I'm proud of you, and we keep moving forward.
Well,
Yes,
the warehouse, one of the things I'll say is I've spent a long time trying to fix things in the organization. And usually what happens, everybody calls you and they want you to step up, and they say they'll be there. When you turn around, you're alone. And that's okay. I've been in that room too many times. So I hope that some of them step up for you, brother, like we are stepping up for you. And I hope that we can find a way for the great, inimitable, unrefutably worst CEO in the history of mankind and his COO co-partner to go back. Jay can go back and fly fish in Montana, and Steve McNally can go back to selling OxyClean wherever that is that he's from. But in the words of the Warehouse 15, it's been real nice. And again, if we offended you, sorry, not sorry. We're out.
Peace.